Once upon a time, in a busy town filled with noise and rush, there lived a young man named Aaron. He was 25 years old, talented, hardworking, and full of ideas. But Aaron had one big problem. He overthought everything. Whenever he had to make a decision, even a small one, his mind became restless. If he wanted to talk to someone, he thought, what if they laugh at me? If he wanted to start a new project, he worried, what if I fail? What if people criticize me? Even before sleeping, he replayed the whole day in his mind again and again, analyzing every word and every action. Because of this habit, Aaron often felt tired and unhappy. He had big dreams, but he couldn't take action because his mind always pulled him in different directions. One day, after losing another opportunity because he kept overthinking, Aaron whispered to himself, "Why am I like this? Why can't I just live peacefully?" A week later, he heard about a wise monk who lived in a small temple outside the town. People said the monk had helped many restless souls find peace in life. Curious and desperate, Aaron decided to meet him. The next morning, Aaron walked to the temple. It was surrounded by trees and birds were singing in the sunlight. The place itself felt calm. The monk was sitting on a wooden bench, quietly watching the wind move the leaves. Aaron bowed and said, "Master, my life feels like a storm. My mind never rests. I think too much about everything, and I cannot find peace. Please help me." The monk smiled gently and said, "Come with me." He led Aaron to a small garden. In the middle of the garden was a glass jar filled with muddy water. The monk picked it up, shook it, and gave it to Aaron. He asked, "Look inside." Aaron peered into the jar. The water was cloudy, full of dirt swirling everywhere. The monk asked, "Can you see your reflection?" Aaron shook his head. "No, it's too unclear." The monk then placed the jar on the ground and said, "Now, wait." Minutes passed. Slowly, the dirt began to settle at the bottom. The water became clear. Aaron could now see his own face in the jar. The monk looked at him and said, "Your mind is like this jar. When you keep shaking it with endless thoughts, it becomes muddy and restless. But when you let it be still, the dirt settles down and everything becomes clear. Peace is not found by adding more thoughts. It is found by letting go of unnecessary ones." Aaron listened carefully. Something inside him shifted. For the first time, he understood that his problem was not the outside world, but the storm inside his own head. The monk continued, "Life is actually simple, my son. But we make it complicated with too many what-ifs and maybes. Stop trying to control everything. Focus only on what you can do now, in this very moment. That is the secret of peace." Aaron thanked the monk and returned home. He decided to practice what he had learned. From that day, whenever his mind started overthinking, Aaron reminded himself, "Let the dirt settle." Instead of worrying about the future, he focused on small daily actions. Instead of analyzing every word he spoke, he simply tried to be honest and kind. Slowly, his heart felt lighter. Weeks turned into months. Aaron's life began to change. He started painting again, something he had always loved but avoided because he thought he wasn't good enough. He reconnected with old friends, without worrying about what they might think. At work, he took decisions more calmly, and people began to admire his confidence. One evening, while sitting by the riverside, Aaron smiled to himself. The water flowed gently, reflecting the stars above. He realized that peace had always been inside him. He had only needed to stop shaking the jar of his mind. So, dear friends, remember this. Overthinking steals our peace and blinds us from enjoying life. Simplicity is the key. When you stop filling your mind with endless what-ifs, you begin to see life clearly. Just like the jar of muddy water, allow your thoughts to settle and peace will naturally appear. If you liked this story, give it a like and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories like this one. See you again in the next video with a new thought and a new lesson. Until then, stay calm, stay simple, and stop overthinking.